It's officially summertime, my favorite time of year because I just love all the fruits, the veggies, all the food that we get to eat, and I am so excited to share 5 amazing summer recipes with you all. We're gonna be making a main dish, some sides, a fun little drink, and everything's gonna be delicious, and I can't wait. So let's do it. We're starting off with a summer staple, in my mind at least, which are baked beans. I think that every barbecue needs baked beans. There's just no way around it, and I grew up eating baked beans in a can, which are delicious. I will always love baked beans in a can, but it's actually really easy to make them yourself, and it's like minimal ingredients, and we're making them in a slow cooker instead of actually baking them to not like heat up the whole house, you know, because it's summer, it's hot. So they come out really, really good in the slow cooker. They're absolutely delicious and they're easy to make. So let's do it. The first thing we're gonna do is start by finely chopping these onions, almost really dicing them. We want it to be really, really small so they melt up and just become almost nothing in the slow cooker. I'm using the Vidalia onion, but you could use any sort of sweet onion that you like. You could also just throw these in the food processor if you don't feel like chopping by hand. So then into the slow cooker, we're gonna add our navy beans. These are the base of our baked beans. We're gonna add in all that beautiful onion. Then we're going to add in liquid smoke. This will just add that nice smokiness. I'm using a hickory one. Then we're gonna add in organic brown sugar. We have garlic powder. Then we're gonna add in salt. We're doing ketchup, or you could use tomato sauce if you want. And then we got some apple cider vinegar to add some acidity in there, and maple syrup. And the maple syrup and the organic brown sugar create 2 different kinds of sweetnesses and flavors within. So I do like using both. Mix this up until everybody gets well acquainted in the slow cooker. And then we're going to add in some water just to help make a little bit of sauciness in there. And that's it. If you want instructions for how to bake these or cook them on the stove, be sure to check out the blog post. Otherwise, you're going to cook them on high for 2.5 hours to 3 hours, or on low for between 5 to 8 hours, depending on your slow cooker. And that should be it there. It should be nice and saucy and delicious. Baked beans are pretty simple, and I don't think they need much in terms of garnish. I just did some flaky sea salt and a little sprig of rosemary to give it something, and just taste it. Make sure you like the flavors, and these are so good, so delicious with everything we're making in this video, and they're just delicious. So that's how you make vegan baked beans in a slow cooker. These smell so good. Like the house just smells like summer and barbecue, and they are saucy and yummy, and they're really good. So let's do a little taste test. Honestly, I think those are some of the best baked beans I've ever had. They are smoky, they're sweet, they're tangy, they're salty, they're everything. They're really, really good, and they're so delicious. And my boyfriend, who loves baked beans, also really enjoyed these. So really easy to make, really delicious, and we've got more recipes to make. So let's move on to the next one. For our next recipe, we're going to be making another summer staple, coleslaw. And here's the thing. I'm not a coleslaw girly because I don't like mayo, but this coleslaw, this vegan coleslaw, is creamy and delicious, and we're not using any vegan mayo here. We actually use hummus to make it really creamy and yummy, and it's the perfect side dish to go with the rest of our meal. Again, very easy to make, so let's do it. My camera didn't agree with me and didn't record this beginning part, but all I did was just add in apple cider vinegar, maple syrup, salt, pepper into this bowl. Then we're going to add in hummus and water, and we're going to mix this up to just make our little coleslaw dressing. Very simple, and if you wanted to use vegan mayo here, use vegan mayo, but I like the hummus, and it's really fun. You could play around with the different flavors. So you can see the consistency here is very liquidy. That's kind of what we want. Then I am using just a veggie slaw mix that I got from the store. I like it because it has all the colors, and we got some carrots in there. If you would like to chop everything up by yourself, you can just get a head of red cabbage and green cabbage, but I like the bag mix. It does make it a lot easier. I'm just slowly adding this dressing on, tossing, slowly adding the dressing, tossing, and that's really it. I'm gonna taste this and just make sure I like the flavor. I felt it needed a little more salt, so I added some extra salt. Again, go crazy with your seasonings here. It's to your preference. Let this chill in the fridge for at least a half hour. Everything will start to wilt and break down. This is one of those dishes, the longer it sits, the better before serving, just so that cabbage really gets nice and soft. And that's it. I just added it to a nice plate, and I added a little extra black pepper on top just to create some contrast, and put it with a pretty serving spoon. And that's really all you have to do. I think coleslaw is a great side dish because it just adds in those nice veggies, and it's refreshing and it's delicious. That's how you make our vegan coleslaw. And of course, if you would like to cut up all your own cabbage, you can, but I actually really like just using the store-bought bag because you get a variety in there with the red cabbage, the green cabbage, the carrots, and then it makes it like way less work. So there we go. Let's do a taste test. You can see it's nice and creamy and they get wilted. The longer you let this sit, the softer all the veggies will get in there. I really like the hummus here because like I said, I'm not a vegan mayo person really. Like I don't like very much of it. The hummus adds that creaminess, the tanginess, saltiness. It adds a nice flavor. And I think it complements the cabbage really well. If you want to use vegan mayo, you can, if you like it. That's totally up to you. But I highly suggest you try it this way because it is very yummy. So this one is so easy and it's light and refreshing. All the recipes can be found in the description box down below. I link directly to the blog post and I write out all the ingredients for you guys. I also link anything I think you may need, so check that out. If you're enjoying this video so far, give it a thumbs up and let's move on to our next recipe. For our next recipe, we're going to be making one of my absolute favorites for summer, corn. I am such a corn lover, and specifically grilled corn. Grilled corn is so easy to make. I used to think like when I was younger that it was super hard to do, but grilling is very easy and grilled corn is super easy. It is 3 ingredients: olive oil, sea salt, and the corn, and it comes out absolutely delicious. I love, love, love the like charred up parts, and it's so easy, so let's do it. First, we need to shuck our corn. So here's the deal. You can either grill these with all the husks on or off. If you grill them with the husks on, you're basically steaming the corn within the husk and you won't get any grill marks. But if you remove the husk and all the corn silk and everything, then that's when you get that beautiful charred look to the corn. So it just depends on what you want to do. I personally like to get rid of all of it and get those nice grill marks on the corn. So I got off most of it, but then I always just like to run it under cold water in the sink. It really helps me to get off everything that I can't get, especially that corn silk, because it's just kind of a pain. And then I'm going to pat these dry, and pretty simple so far, right? Very easy. Grilling corn is so easy. And then I'm going to just brush them with a little bit of olive oil, and that's it. The olive oil will help the corn to get a nice caramelization on the outside. So I have my little grill heating up. We want it between 350 and 450, and I'm going to pop my corn on there. And honestly, there's not much to do. You want to cook it for about 5 to 8 minutes per side. You'll start seeing these marks, and I think it's also really important to know where your grill cooks hotter, because there's definitely always like hot spots. So you might have to just rotate the corn, move it around, and it'll take about 15 to 20 minutes. So just be patient with it. And once it's all done, it looks like this. I mean, you can just cook it to how browned and kind of, charred on the outside you like. Nothing too fancy here, just a little bit of flaky sea salt, because that's really all it needs. It is so delicious, and it tastes like candy. Corn is just the best this time of year. Okay, and that is how we make some really beautiful grilled corn. The trick is just to really be patient with it and give it some time, but it's such an easy side dish and it comes out so good. So of course we'll do a taste test. By brushing it in the olive oil, it adds a little bit of fat in there, which is really nice. And then I don't feel the need to put any vegan butter on there because I have the oil and the sea salt already. If you want to throw a little vegan butter on there, you definitely can. It would be delicious. And it's so easy. It's so delicious. You could, of course, make it like Mexican street corn if you wanted, like elotes. You could do so many things just with grilled corn. It's amazing. Cut it off, put it in salads. It's so good, but it's also just delicious. Hot off the grill with the rest of all the dishes we're making. But we've got more things to cook, so let's do it. All right, we got all our sides covered, so what are we gonna have as our main dish of the meal? Hot dogs! Oh my goodness, I am so excited to be sharing these vegan hot dogs with you guys. They look so freaking good. They are made with tofu and seitan, so they're actually like super high in protein. It's like 18 grams or something for one of these hot dogs. So it's really, really awesome. They're easy to make, they're delicious, and they're gonna pair so well with our sides, so let's make them. This is going to be very similar to how we made the vegan pepperoni a few weeks ago. So we're gonna start off by adding firm tofu. I didn't press this, but I just kind of lightly squeezed it, if that makes sense. Then I have 2 cooked carrots, about an ounce of carrot, olive oil, liquid smoke, apple cider vinegar, paprika, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and water go into the blender. Blend this for about 45 seconds until it is very, very smooth, blended up, and very liquidy. It's a thicker liquid, but it should be nice and smooth, almost like a salad dressing. We're going to add in that Vital wheat gluten, and then we're just going to blend it again one more time. It'll just like basically form it into what will look like a dough. It's not a dough. Seitan isn't bread, but that's what we're doing here. And then I'm going to take it out of the blender. We don't want to over blend this. We just want to like start getting it well incorporated like this. If your seitan is sticking, you can just sprinkle a little Vital Wheat gluten for dusting and it won't stick anymore. So I'm going to knead this for about 3 to 5 minutes until it turns into a very smooth, shiny looking ball. That is what we want. And you want to be pretty rough with your kneading in this. This is what helps create texture within the vegan hot dogs. And as you could see, when I press in there, it just bounces right back. That's what we're going for. I'm going to make 4 hot dogs from this. I felt these were good hot dog sizes. So if you want to make more, they just might be a little bit smaller. So I'm cutting this into 4s and then I'm going to roll it out. And if you need some help for how long you should roll it, you could just take a hot dog bun and kind of keep measuring for size. It will shrink up a little bit. So like it does take about 1 minute to 2 minutes to roll it because the gluten is just so tight. So it keeps forming back into a smaller shape. So then just like with the pepperoni, we're going to first roll it in parchment paper, and I'm taking my time here and I'm rolling it very tight. And as you can see, the parchment paper is about the same size as the piece of seitan. Then we're going to take foil and we're going to roll it again a little bit longer than the seitan hot dog, but not by much. Roll it up very, very tight, twist the ends, and this is what is going to help shape our vegan hot dogs when we steam it. So this is an important part if you want to have pretty looking vegan hot dogs. If you don't care about how they look, you don't have to spend as much time, but obviously I'm trying to entice you guys to make these recipes and make them look good. So I spent a few extra minutes just really rolling everything up tightly. Then we're going to steam this. I'm just going to pop them in my steamer basket and we're going to steam them for 30 minutes, just until everything cooks inside there. This is the cooking process of the seitan. Then I'm going to remove them, let them cool in their foils for 20 minutes, and then we will unwrap them, and you will have these really awesome, beautiful looking vegan hot dogs. They are so cool. So you can eat these now like this. They are good. It's almost like the equivalent of a boiled hot dog. However, I think that they are better when you crisp them a little bit. So I just sprayed them with a little spray oil and then popped them on a little electric indoor grill. And the reason we're using this grill is because I couldn't find the cord. I don't know where my boyfriend put it for the outdoor grill. You'll just get them nice and crispy to your preference. Pop them in the hot dog buns. You could also crisp them up in a pan too, in the stove. And that's it. And now you have vegan hot dogs. And I just put some ketchup on there. But of course, relish, sauerkraut, mustard. It's whatever you like. But I just like ketchup. I'm a plain girl. So that's how you make our vegan hot dogs. I really hope you guys try these one out because I'm really excited for them. I do know that they already taste good. I'm going to give you guys a taste test. And I also want to show you the inside. I definitely recommend like grilling them or crisping them up in a pan because it creates really nice texture on the inside. I am just going to like eat this on its own without the bread because obviously the bread can impact the flavor. So let's just eat it on its own. So it's got a nice, chewy, meaty feel to it. It's salty, it's flavorful. I think it's really, really good. And they're so fun to make. They're easy to make. They're great for summer. So I hope you guys try this one out. We got one more recipe to make, so let's do it. So we've made all our yummy food. And now what are we going to drink? We're going to make some easy, delicious homemade lemonade. Only a few simple ingredients. It comes out so good. It just looks so refreshing, doesn't it? I love it. So it's so easy, let's do it. I'm gonna give you a few steps to make your lemonade look really fancy. So of course we need some beautiful lemons. I'm going to zest them. I zested all 4 of them. We're gonna save that for later, cut them in half, and then we're going to juice all of these lemons. So give yourself a little arm and hand workout if you like, or if you have like a juicer, you could use that. And I got 1 cup of lemon juice from 4 lemons. Then I'm going to take those lemons, cut them in half, and I'm popping them in my pitcher for the lemonade. We're going to take all that lemon juice and then we're going to combine it with organic sugar, and we're going to cook this on the stove until that sugar dissolves. I just whisked it. It takes about 5 minutes on a medium heat, not very long. And you don't need to let it thicken or anything, but you just want that sugar to dissolve. If you taste it, it should taste like a lemon candy. Pour that into your pitcher, and then you're going to pour in cold water, about 4 cups, and then we're going to add in some ice cubes, and that's it. Very simple and very delicious. We will pop this in the fridge and let it chill for like a half hour. And in the meantime, I'm going to get ready for my garnish. So I'm adding some organic sugar to that lemon zest from earlier. and that will be a nice little rim on the outside of the glass. I'm going to slice up some lemon, and I'm just going to keep them whole, but then cut a slit, and that way we can just like very gently place it onto the outside of the glass. I'm going to use a lemon wedge to wet the rim of the glass. We'll pop it into that lemon sugar that we made, and then we can just get ready to pour our little lemonade out. Add in some ice cubes, fill the glass up. Very beautiful. It looks just so refreshing in there. I added my little piece of lemon, and then I also did a piece of mint because I think it looks pretty. You could do basil. I don't know. It just looks so pretty in there. I really like it. And that's it. And add in some pretty straws, and now you have a super refreshing, delicious drink to go with all the food. Now, of course, I'll do a little taste test, and I just think this looks so pretty with the mint and the sugar rim, and those little touches add something special, making this more than just like typical lemonade. Let's give a sip. It's so refreshing. It's light. It's not overly sweet. If you like it sweeter, always add in more sugar if you're just like a very sweet lemonade person. I like it like this because it's like fruity, citrusy, lemony, and lightly sweetened, and it's so good. So those are all our recipes. I hope these help you out. I am so excited that summer is here. As always, all the full written out recipes are on the blog. Links in the description box down below. Check out the description box for links to things I think you may need. There's a lot down there, so check it out. Thank you all so much for watching. Remember to stay cool, stay hydrated, and I'll see you soon with more recipes. Bye!